how do I get a good black on black? What's my approach? My response is always a little bit more of a question to them than it is an actual answer. Because a black t-shirt is not necessarily black. It depends on who you're buying it from and what the dyes are. A lot of those t-shirts have red tints. If you're lucky, maybe it has a blue tint, or it really does look like a nice balanced black. But when it comes to printing black on black, it's more about disrupting the monotony of a blank canvas with a different texture that is similar-ish in color. And in order to do that, you can literally print black ink on your black t-shirt. This is the same black two different ways. One of them is just flat black onto the shirt, and the other one is a print flash print of that same ink. The one on the bottom is a little bit shinier and a little bit richer in color. And both of them stand off of the garment looking black. But it's about, what does your eye want? What does your eye gravitate to? What does your customer want? Some people really like that deep charcoal gray look on black. I like the shinier blacks. I like it when the print actually looks denser and richer than the shirt it's on. So I've got a couple of screens here, and I'm going to go through a couple of ways to do a very visual black on black that creates some synergistic energy, to use big words, that makes you go, ooh, that's neat. So follow along, let's have some fun. Now, like I said, I really like those shiny aspects, and I also like dimensional aspects to printing black on black. I've got one here that you've seen the artwork a few times in the past, but you haven't seen it applied like this. Now, I am going to take this relatively thick screen. This is one of the screens that I had on hand when I did my faux high density print. So this is coated 1 and 4 with Chromaline Chroma Blue to give us a nice thick stencil. It's a little over 200 microns thick in total. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to print a clear ink through it. Now, this isn't just like curable reducer or extender base. This is a stretch ink. And stretch inks, much like inks like Thermaline, HD clears, but not the HD clear that actually holds a sharp edge. We're looking at those inks, those clear inks that have that rounded edge to them once they fully cure. So I'm using FN Stretch, and I'm gonna print it through the 110, and we are looking to get a thick stencil, and maybe if we get enough heat on there, we'll get those edges to round a little bit. Printing like this shows up best when you have a garment with polyester content in it. We did a video a little while ago about clear inks on poly and how it darkens them up. If you print on black polyester thread, it'll get really, really crazy rich, and the contrast is amazing. So this is cotton. I didn't have any poly on me, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna print that and see how it looks. So what we're using is FN Stretch, because I know this one will end up doming just a little bit. The edges will curl. Now, this is not a short-bodied ink. So we're going to work with this a little bit. If you can get your hands on inks like the Thermaline or another ink similar from your vendor that has that slight doming effect to it, this will end up looking pretty similar. So I'm going to give this a couple of flood strokes. Now the ink is a bit thicker, so it's going to grab a bit more. You did see me warm up my platen a bit. You can see how everything's gripping and holding on to the shirt. The ink's holding on to the screen a little bit. That's kind of neat. By itself, it looks like pearl. But when it cures, and you got to get it hot to properly cure, it'll end up doming. So my goal here is to lay down a very thick stencil. I might need to work a little bit at that. So no puff in this, nothing at all. I want the stretch to cure out completely clear. So you can see after it got flashed, it lightened up a little bit, got a little more clear. Up here at the top, I'm using a 1616 flash, and my print's like 14 tall. Always use a flash that's much bigger. So this should now print and clear the screen a lot better because the ink will be warmer. I may need to increase my off contact just a little bit more. Now I'm looking to create a very heavy ink deposit. You just saw me put a coin on there in order to increase my off contact a little bit so I can create a little bit more distance between the screen and my print. So we've got a little bit of dimensionality there, not quite as much as I wanted. This goes back to just like my last video. I want a 300 micron stencil or a little bit more. Anyways, I'm geeking out on making this look very clear. Next thing I want to do is get upstairs and run this through the dryer. I'll be right back. If you like what you're seeing in this video, hit that subscribe button. And this is what it looks like after it's cured. So the intensity of that black depends on the angle that you are viewing it from. Now I did have this in the dryer for about 1.5 minutes, so it made sure it got real hot, and then it got a little bit of a remelt on the surface. It's not a perfect representation of what you can do with, focus created inks for this. I'm just using FN stretch and letting it get hot. Again, if this was on a polyester or a high polyester content garment, that would melt even more and get even shinier because that it just plays, it just prints so nice. But anyways, that's a very simple approach to black on black. It's no color, it's clear, but it's making it look blacker. And this was done on a basic recycled garment. This wasn't, an even, a nicer ring spun garment, which would have this display even better. So doing it on a average garment is going to show you just what it can do. Now, I'm gonna print one more of these on a really nice ring spun with the clear, run that through just so that we have it. And then I'm gonna clean this out and I'm gonna put in black puff just to show you again, it's about that contrast that you're creating on the garment and show you how nice black on black looks as a puff with the same design. Now, just to reiterate, this isn't about contrast in color. This is about contrast in texture and breaking up the monotony of the t-shirt so that you're seeing the design, but in your mind, it's all shades of black. So again, when these clears print, a lot of them do not print clear, they print with a little bit of milkiness. I'm gonna semi-clean the screen. We're gonna print this black puff. This is the Port & Company Core Blend. So again, not a perfect black garment, but this is more than good enough to get this across. So this is FN black with 20% puff into it. I first printed this a couple years ago in Atlantic City. We were sandwiched between Ninja Transfers. It was another direct-to-film selling company, and then Ryonet. We were in the corner. And on screen, we had silver and puff and everything that DTF couldn't do. And it was quite the hit. It was a really nice contrast. But this print specifically was a major success, just doing black ink puff with a high thick build. Again, thick stencil, higher percentage of the FN puff additive. You can see that print flash print has kind of given us a flatter print. We can got some good volume down. We're filling in some of those gaps. I'm gonna flash this and print it one more time and create a very, very clean, smooth surface. I'm gonna take this, run it through the dryer, and when I'm back, we're gonna look at the results of all of the black on black printing that we've done. So I ran that second print through the dryer and it got real nice and shiny. So what I did different was this one, when I ran it through the dryer twice. And this one, I went ahead and slowed down the belt because I realized that I made a mistake that first time. It's been a long time since I've done a very glossy print. I thought I could get away with running it through twice, not quite. So this one I ran it through for 1:45 and it got very shiny. So I took this one, the first one I ran through, and ran it back through at the same time, and it shined up a little bit, but not quite as good. The fabrics are definitely different, but the end result, what I wanted to get to, was this. So running it through the first time for an extended period of time, and then you get this extreme gloss going, and a slight rounding of the edge of the print. And remember, there is no black in here. That's just clear. This is the FN stretch clear. And you can do this with any number of stretches on the market and other thicker, clear inks. Just give it a shot. And this is on 100% cotton. If this had polyester content in it, like I've mentioned, be even shinier. Now, what does that black puff look like is the next question. That looks pretty good. This is a little bit more of that charcoal black on black. But now we have even more of that dimensional aspect to it. And we have definitely, between these two prints, broken up the monotony of a blank canvas. So to bring this all back around again, printing black on black is about breaking up what a blank t-shirt looks like. You want to distract the eye from that smooth canvas. However you do it, it's the right answer, as long as your customer likes it. So I've shown you a couple of ways to do this. We did a nice black puff. We did a simple clear in order to get a really nice gloss effect going on. We even went back to basics and we simply printed black on black. Regular flat black at the top and then a print flash print black at the bottom. Every single one of them is black on black and they all look a little bit different. In the end, do what makes you happy. Have fun, be creative. Do something your competitor isn't. And that'll do it for another deep dive. As always, thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate you as always. If you like what you saw here, click that little button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please. We'd love to see you more in the future. Leave a comment down below whether you think I missed something or if you want to see me try something different. If you know someone who could benefit from watching this video, send them the link. We've been having some pretty good conversations lately. Come join them. Thank you all for watching. See you guys next time.